Hello everyone, and welcome. When you think of South Korea, you might picture K-pop, Korean BBQ, or Seoul's skyline. But there's so much more beneath the surface. Today, we'll look at the realities of life in South Korea, beyond the travel brochures. Ready for an honest, eye-opening journey? Let's get into it. South Korea's academic pressure is legendary. The Sunyung exam can determine a student's entire future, so important that planes are grounded during the test. Many spend days in school and nights in private academies, often until late. This relentless pursuit leads to widespread stress, anxiety, and depression. The pressure isn't just personal, it's about family honor and societal expectations. Now, the nation is rethinking what success should really mean. After school, the pressure just shifts to the workplace. In many companies, you don't leave until your boss does. Long hours are a badge of dedication. Even with reforms, overwork and blurred boundaries are common. It's a system that values sacrifice, but at what cost? Seoul dazzles, but living here is costly. Sky-high housing prices and the Jont's system make home ownership a distant dream. Economic pressure shapes life choices, with many delaying marriage and children. Behind the glamour, a widening wealth gap and daily struggles remain. Beauty standards in South Korea are intense and specific. Appearance is seen as crucial to success, fueling a booming cosmetic surgery industry. The pressure to fit a narrow ideal affects self-esteem and mental health. In this culture, looks can matter as much as talent or character. Despite the crowds, loneliness is rising in South Korea. The Honjok, or alone tribe trend, reflects both empowerment and social isolation. Single-person households are increasing, and traditional community ties are fraying. Loneliness is becoming a defining issue in one of the world's most connected societies. South Korea is a tech powerhouse, but digital addiction is a growing problem. Gaming addiction is so severe that there are laws restricting minors' playtime and government-funded treatment centers. It's not just gaming. Constant social media use leads to anxiety and sleep loss. The challenge is finding balance in a hyper-connected world. South Korea's air pollution is a serious health issue, especially from fine dust particles called PM 2.5. On bad days, Seoul's skyline disappears under a haze, and people check air quality apps constantly. Pollution comes from local sources and neighboring countries, making solutions complex. Masks and air purifiers are everyday essentials. The government is fighting back with restrictions, but the problem persists. Outdoor activities are often cancelled, and anxiety about air quality is widespread. Even in a high-tech nation, clean air can't be taken for granted. Gender inequality remains a major challenge in South Korea. The gender pay gap is among the highest in the developed world, and women face barriers to advancement. Traditional values still influence expectations at work and home. A strong feminist movement is pushing for change, but backlash is fierce. Issues like workplace discrimination and Molka spy cams are hotly debated. The struggle for equality is reshaping society, but progress is slow and contested. It's a nation wrestling with what true gender equality should look like. Bullying, or wangta, is a harsh reality in Korean schools. It goes beyond teasing. Physical violence and cyberbullying are common. The pressure to conform makes it hard for victims to speak out. The consequences can be devastating, including depression and even suicide. Popular dramas have brought attention to the issue, but it remains deeply rooted. Protecting students' well-being is an ongoing battle in a high-pressure system. Elderly poverty is a hidden crisis in South Korea. As family structures change and birth rates fall, many seniors are left without support. Nearly half of the elderly live below the poverty line, often working menial jobs to survive. The social fabric is being tested as the old safety nets unravel. South Korea's suicide rate is among the highest in the world. Academic, economic and social pressures all contribute to this crisis. Mental health has long been stigmatized, making it hard for people to seek help. That's starting to change, with more awareness and government support. Celebrities speaking out have helped break the silence. Young people are leading the way in destigmatizing mental health. But building a culture of support and openness is still a work in progress. Conformity is deeply valued in South Korea's collectivist culture. There's an unwritten script for life. Study, work, marry, have kids, and deviation is often judged. Fashion, careers, and even personal choices are shaped by the desire to fit in. Individuality exists, but often in tension with mainstream expectations. The arts and youth culture push boundaries, but social acceptance is hard-won. Many struggle to balance self-expression with the need for belonging. It's a daily negotiation between personal identity and group harmony. South Korea is safe, but privacy is limited. The country is blanketed with CCTV cameras tracking movements everywhere. Most accept this for security, but it means true anonymity is rare. The bigger concern is illegal spy cams, or molka, especially in public spaces. Women in particular face anxiety about being filmed without consent. The balance between safety and personal freedom is a growing debate. How much privacy are people willing to trade for security? South Korea is globalizing, but remains ethnically homogeneous. Foreigners often face challenges from subtle stares to outright discrimination. Stereotypes persist, especially toward those with darker skin or from Southeast Asia. Many expats find community, but the sense of us versus them is real. The country is still learning how to be truly multicultural. These growing pains are part of its evolving identity on the world stage. Inclusion is a work in progress. The housing crisis in Seoul is severe, especially for young people. Affordable options are scarce, forcing many into tiny rooms or semi-basement apartments. The government promises solutions, but the problem is decades old. Housing costs dictate where and how people live, shaping their futures. The stress of unstable housing is a major barrier to social mobility. For many, the dream of a stable home feels out of reach. It's a defining challenge for a new generation. That's our journey through the complexities of South Korea. The goal isn't to judge, but to understand the full story, light and shadow alike. Every country has its struggles, and acknowledging them deepens our connection. If you value honest exploration, consider subscribing and joining the conversation. Your support helps keep these important stories alive. Thanks for watching and for looking beyond the surface. Until next time, travel thoughtfully.